All right, what's going on, everybody? Gaby Card Stacks here. Been a little under the weather, so I've been sitting on this for a little bit, but got my PSA submission back. I did it as part of the March special. I submitted originally about 40-ish cards. I had them all prepped by DT Sports Cards and reviewed. He came back, gave me some feedback, and we ended up sending about 32-ish or so. So going to run through everything that I submitted. Let's talk about the grades, why I submitted it, all of that thought process, and the cost as well. All right, so first one on top here, Brady Cook Sapphire PSA 10. I pick up a ton of Sapphire, especially when the product first came out. I just thought it's a premium product, and you're just not gonna find a base card that has a good floor to it like Sapphire. So picked up a ton of Sapphire of all the top guys. I inspected just about every card that I had and really only felt comfortable about a few of them. I submitted only the cards that I felt were going to get 10s. I've never graded before, really. I've submitted maybe 7 cards all through DT Sports Cards. So with that, I just didn't feel super comfortable sending in a ton, but really wanted to send in my best looking cards that I had. So I was super happy about this. SEC quarterback could jump in the draft. Who knows, but happy with that 10. Next one, Carson Beck. His market has exploded this offseason. I'm glad this got a 10. I think there were a few others that I was considering, but again, I just didn't want to get stuck with 9s. I only wanted to send the best of the best. Now that I know what I'm looking for, I do feel a lot more confident in sending cards in, or at least sending cards to grading. I think I'll still use the $2 review service by DT Sports Card just because it's gonna save me money in the long run, I imagine, and it's just nice to have that over my next maybe few subs, but still feel a little bit more comfortable overall. To Terrell McMillan, I actually have a pair of these, both 10s. I really wanted maybe one for the PC and then one just to sell and hold for the draft. I do believe he's the #1 receiver in the country. His size at 6'5", 210, route running, blocking, hands, catching traffic, everything. All of his EA Football 25 attributes should be maxed out, especially compared to Luther Burden. I'm not a Luther guy, so Tetrell McMillan, I'm super happy about that. I'm not a big PSA guy. I prefer 1 touches for PC, but maybe I'll keep one for the PC, I guess. Shedeur Sanders, looks like we've got 2 of these as well. Been picking up a ton of these. It's about a $15-ish card raw. And again, I just scooped up a ton of Sapphire. The first half of these are all going to be Sapphires, but 10s on those. Happy about that. I'm a little turned off by Shedeur and just the offseason antics, but it is what it is. Devin Neal, I just thought this looked super clean. I'm a believer in Kansas. I go back and forth probably every single day. You could catch me saying Utah. You could catch me saying Kansas, OK State. One of those 3 teams. I like K-State. I like West Virginia as a sleeper. The Big 12 is going to be really fun this year, but Devin Neal, one of my favorite running backs in the country. I think he's super productive, increases production each of the last 4 years. Probably like a $2, $3 base card, and I needed that to 10, right? Because you're paying, $18 per card or so, but we got the 10. Travis Hunter, we got 3 of these. Okay, maybe I don't think I have 4, but 3 Travis Hunters, cover boy of EA Football 25. So again, just, I don't know, one of the most marketable athletes, 2 ways. He's going to make some big plays, so he's going to have a lot of eyeballs on him for sure. All right, next little stack. Looks like we still have some more Sapphire here. Okay, 2 more Sapphire base. Jackson Arnold, I'm not a big Jackson Arnold guy. Just with his prices, I guess that's what ultimately, if he were priced more reasonable, I think I would have been in on Jackson Arnold, but he was just priced as one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the product, and he had barely thrown a couple passes at the time of release. So it just didn't make sense, but I do pick it up because I do think there will be hype. I'm not a big OU guy. Their defense should be solid. They've got a lot of questions on the O-line. But their weapons, I mean, they've got a ton of guys, Nick Anderson, Burks from Purdue, Jalil Farouk, Andrel Anthony, so Gavin Sawchuk, one of my favorite running backs in the country. So Oklahoma, we'll see what they do. Ricky White, one of my favorite guys, probably top 5 in the product. Normally I probably wouldn't have sent this in, but this looked really clean. Like if there was one card that I felt was 100% a 10, this was it. So I think I pulled this myself in my 4 boxes 35 of 50. I really love Ricky White, the leading returning receiver from last year. I'm really high on him. Unfortunately, our first 9 here, Phil Maffa, Orange, Sapphire. I think I got this from Card Collector 2 at auctions. I love the color match. I love Sapphire, the autos. I really like Phil Maffa as well. Bowling ball of a back, really fun to watch, kind of the goal line guy. I expect a big jump from him this year, so a 9 on that one. I don't hate it. All right, next one, Jalen Daniels, Gold Lava Auto. Again, unfortunately, a 9 here, but again, I'm high on Kansas. You know, I'm a little nervous. The injury history, I've talked about it a lot for Jalen Daniels. Missed 11 games with a back injury. Hope he can stay healthy. They don't have Jason Bean anymore, so they got to have somebody ready in case he goes down. And then Harold Perkins, 9 again. So all of my nicer color autos all got 9s, unfortunately, but Harold Perkins, gold, number 50. I sent 2 in. Oh, this is New Jersey, number 4 of 50. I sent 2 copies in. One of them, DT, I think he said it would 8, so I only sent in 1. I think that was a gold lava. I don't remember, but this one, I mean, he should be one of the top defensive players in the country. I'm fine with a 9 on a higher end card like that. I've been scooping up quite a bit of his stuff. This one I don't remember sending in, but it must have looked, worthy enough for me to send in as a 10. Blue, nothing crazy here. I don't remember. I picked up a couple of these. Oh, okay, that was just a piece of hair. Thought that was a crack. I don't remember. I picked a couple up at the state show. I pick them up here and there. I'm curious where I got this copy exactly, but a 10 on the numbered. I like that. Just all the eyeballs. Big game against NDSU to start the year. And I think I should have several of these. Switching over to women's basketball now. Hannah Hidalgo Sapphire. I picked up a lot on eBay. It wasn't even a lot. It was just a quantity listing, and I bought every single one. It was like 34 of them for like $120. And I should have a couple more in here, actually. And I just felt like these looked the best out of my 30. Fortunately, it looks like that person that I bought them from does not grade. So, yeah, we got 5 10s here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the Hannah Hidalgo. Been buying a ton of her, or at least I did at the start of the product release, just because her prices did not make sense. Everyone was chasing Caitlin Clark, Juju. I get it, but Hannah Hidalgo right there in the scoring. She averages more steals than like 20 programs in the country. I don't know where they are in preseason rankings, but I was happy. Again, no 10s or no 9s on that stack there. So now last group here, and this is kind of going to be a hodgepodge here of just some random stuff. All right, another Hannah Hidalgo, Green Lava. I got this on eBay for like $15, and I thought this would 9. I think I was okay with sending it just because it's color match though, and I really believe in Hannah Hidalgo, just her prices with where they are, as I mentioned with Juju and Caitlin Clark, just didn't make sense for me. All right, this one, Michaela Williams, green. I knew this one would 10. I figured otherwise I probably wouldn't have sent it. LSU's going to have to reload a lot of stars. She was SEC Freshman of the Year, so I felt good about sending that in and felt good about the chance of a 10 just with how it looked. So I was happy about that. I probably picked that up on eBay for $5 to $7. And Juju Watkins base chrome, I've probably got 100 of these, and I've been scooping them up on Sport Lots, Buy Sports Cards, eBay, anywhere, dollar bins at shows. Really happy. I sent in about 4 or 5 of them. One of them was going to get a PSA 6. That's what DT said. I triggered a lot of people with my short. They said it was clickbait, get over it. This one got a 10, so I was super happy about that. Bowman, especially this year's set, super hard to find one centered. But I did look at, and there's actually kind of a little something right there. You can see it on the corner. I don't know if that's the case or what. But I looked at a lot of the 10s, and it looks like it's a lot heavier on the left than it is the right. You can kind of see with this on a lot of them. So I don't know. That one got a 10. I was happy about that. And those are holds for a while, I imagine. I mean, she's still got 3 years to go. This one, unfortunately, a 9. I think just it'll be okay, though. If you look at Caitlin Clark base cards, I imagine it'll be on a similar trend as Juju. And then a pink, unfortunately, a 9 there. Bought a couple refractors in pinks and some color, but just nothing looked good. I think I sent a blue, or no, it was a teal wave refractor, and that one I think DT said was probably going to 8. It wasn't, good enough to 9 and, not enough to 7. So that sucks. All right, this one I was really bummed about. If there was like one card that I really wanted to 10, it was this one. Jada Williams, she's the point guard for Arizona. I really got into women's basketball. Gosh, maybe it was pre-COVID, I guess. 2019 when Arizona was in the championship game. They beat UConn in the Final Four and then lost to Stanford in the championship game, I think. The program was in shambles. I remember me and my roommate in college, we would go sit courtside when it was Nia Butts, who's like one of the worst coaches in Arizona history. They won maybe like 4 or 5 games a year. We lived in the dorms right next to the basketball stadium, so or the arena. We would walk over like it was like a tournament or just any random day. We'd be sitting right behind the bench. It was super fun, and always just kind of went because there was nobody there, and we had great seats, and it was just cool to hear everything from that close. So when Adia Barnes came in, she really turned around that program. The recruiting took a whole nother step up, and she's really revitalized that program, made it fun to watch. So been on the women's basketball kick ever since they kind of revamped it. They made the tournament this year. Jada, a freshman, she was one of the top recruits in the country. She originally committed to UCLA. She's from St. Louis, and then moved to LA, committed to UCLA, and she was big in like TikTok or Instagram. Or she was one of like the OG kind of NIL. This is one of the top recruits coming up, and a lot of brand deals and sponsorships. So now at Arizona, kind of the heart and soul, I guess you could say. We'll see what they do this year. Kind of a down year for them, despite making the tournament. And I think they won the first 4 and then lost to Syracuse, maybe in the Sweet 16 or round of 32. All right. Anyways, Alexander Sarr, been buying a ton of these, just like the Juju Watkins. Number 1 pick in the draft. The lottery happened, I don't know, a week or 2 now at this point. I was super happy about this. I think it'll do well. I was picking these up for about $1 a piece before. I don't know. I was just looking. I always look at mock drafts. I'm already looking at 2026 mock drafts. You're way too late already. But this was a while ago when I started buying them, and he was kind of the consensus number 1 pick. There were some people, my boy Cam, he was picking those up for like quarters back in the day. So just a nice 10 there, should be number 1 pick for the Hawks, I believe. And then another base card here. Again, just a nice 10 for Sarr. This is first year. He's got 2022 as well. But was happy with the 10 on that guy. Hopefully I sell it on draft night. If not, I'll hold for Summer League. I think that's a great opportunity to get some hype going, and all it takes is 1 dunk. Unfortunately, the nicer card, the Refractor, thought this looked decent, but got a 9. So nothing crazy on that one. But I do expect quite a jump come draft time, or like I said, NBA Summer League, or just the general hype of the season. So that's everything. I think it was like 32-ish cards. I paid a total of like $617 for the pre-inspection, as well as grading, and I think shipping back to me as well. Again, I will probably use DT a little bit more just as I start to get a little bit more comfortable with grading. I think for $2 a card, it's hard to go wrong. He saved me, 6 cards, 6 times 20, $120. I paid like $60 for him to inspect all my cards, so it makes sense for the time being. So that's everything. If you enjoyed it, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe. We'll be sending more cards off to PSA soon at some point, so we'll be getting more of these reveals in the future. So peace. We'll see you in the next video.